Let's get to what happened on Friday night. This is a late one, man. I was trying to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning to watch the Ryder Cup on Saturday, and my alarm clock got a little delayed because we were up till basically midnight watching Oregon State in Houston.
Dude, talk about a game that I'm like, can we just
get and put me out of my misery right now?
Sleep here. I drank a Diet Coke to kind of keep myself awake, and I'm like, oh.
Let's start with the initial reaction to the crowd. I will give a major tip of the cap and round of applause to the student section. They were back. I wasn't sure what that was. Dude, it was filled.
It was the first game back.
It was first game back for the students.
With students, yeah.
Yes, and that whole student section was full. So kudos to them for showing up, being loud. They were there before the game started. Awesome.
Kudos to the adults that chose to go down for that.
Yes,
too,
for a 7:30 game. Yes.
Yeah.
And then the game starts. Things are going good.
Boy, what a start.
Things are going good.
Hello.
We're feeling solid.
14-3. Hello.
Is this a look-ahead spot for Houston on a short, coming in on Friday night? We got a bit of a trap vibe to us. It's 14-0, and then all of a sudden, Houston gets a score. Okay, that's all right. We're going to try a field goal at the end of the first half, and then the field goal gets blocked. And then
you don't say. The field goal got blocked.
The field goal got blocked. And then, hey, you know what? Hey, 14-10, we got the lead. We got the lead at the half. We're feeling good. Our defense is playing lights out. Sam's one drive at the end. We're feeling really good, right? Houston gets the ball 3 and out. That's okay. We go 3 and out. Doesn't matter. We force a punt right away back. Then we made a field goal. 17-10. Oregon State made a field goal. It is a miracle.
Yep.
They have the lead. They get another 3 and out from Houston. Oregon State goes 12 plays, 80 yards, 7-minute drive, punch it in. And then all hell broke loose. Shortly thereafter, after another 3 and out, Oregon State did not run any time off the clock and gave it right back to Houston. Houston decided to go tempo. 8-play, 76-yard touchdown. Oregon State goes 3 and out, kicks it right back to them. 4 plays later, we got ourselves a tie ball game with a chance to win the game at the end of regulation. The field goal was again blocked to the point where you had no faith in that unit in overtime, and you had a 4th down in OT, and you tried to go for it because you couldn't trust your kicker to make a kick, and you didn't pick up the first down.
So here's my only look. Here's the other crazy part. 4th and 4 at the Oregon State 43. There's 6:28 left. At this point, they still need 2 touchdowns.
They do. That was such a big play in that game.
That's the game.
That's the game.
If you get that stop, you're running
over.
clock. Like, Houston was dejected. They had no life. There was no vibes there. You were...
Even if you go 3 and out on the next drive, if you just run it 3 times, you're running like 2 minutes off the clock, and it's 4 minutes left, and they can't come back.
100% agree. That's the game. You can't get the stop. Instead... 16-yard pass, 27-yard pass, boom, touchdown, 5:59 left.
Yeah.
Look, I may have been the jinx here, but I think everybody watching that game was the jinx because we were watching the game, so I'm not going to blame myself here. Here's my only counter to this stuff, okay, because you lost in such awful fashion. Yeah. You are finding unique ways to lose every game.
Every week you're like, is there a new low and a new bottom to find? And they find it.
I'm very confused. So in regulation... You're willing to try the field goal, and I kind of understand it, right? You're at the 46-yard line. There's 5 seconds left. What are you going to do? Throw a Hail Mary? But you're willing to try the field goal there. It gets blocked, which everybody and their mom watching go, this is going to get terrible.
As they lined up and everybody's on their right, Oregon State's left, you're like, here they come.
He's either going to miss or it's going to get blocked.
Yeah.
You have no faith. Why are you willing to try that one, but in overtime where you're way closer?
Yeah, where were they at when they tried to go for it on 4th down? 15-yard line, right? 16-yard line, somewhere in there?
Yeah.
Because they didn't get a first down, if I'm not mistaken, so I would guess they picked up about 9 yards, and so they were probably on around the 16-yard line on the right hash, and you can't make that kick?
I don't really quite when he chooses to do it, when he's like losing the confidence in it, doesn't make sense to me. I just either have zero confidence in it or don't do it, and then do it or don't do it, and then don't do it. I don't know what to make of it, dude. You should have won the game. That should have been your first win. It should have been a Monday where we come in and we go, hey,
look at that.
We were wrong. All the noise is wrong. Houston didn't bludgeon you, and you showed up, and you played well, and you won the game. And
you had a 2-touchdown lead in the fourth quarter.
Hey, you're 1-4. Look at the schedule. Maybe you'll be a bowl team this year. And, dude, people texting me, they're not going to fire anybody. And I don't even like calling for public firings because I don't want that karma on me. But
No.
like, it's just wild to me that this can be continued to happen. Right? Ryan Clark, we got the audio here. Ryan Clark asked what I thought was a very fair question at this point. Is he 1-12 in his last 13, or is it 1-11?
I think
in his
it's
last
1-11 in his last 12. I think that's where we're at.
So we have an actual schedule of games worth of games here. 12 games. You are 1-11. This is the first time they've been 0-5 since 1996.
Yeah,
what did they do
ago.
in 96? Oh, that's right. They fired the coach and went and hired Mike Riley, and he saved you from the absolute bottom depths of hell. And Ryan Clark's question, which we can play the audio of, he said audibly you could hear Scott Barnes in the press conference room scoffing.
Yes, as if, how dare you? Here is the question, here is the answer.
I mean, it's the same thing. I can't answer that right now with any kind of truth or knowledge because I'm in the heat of the moment and I don't want to say something that, I don't mean or regret, so I can't answer.
Just as somebody who obviously cares about this university and has put a lot of time and emotion into it, I guess how much more does something like this hurt? No.
Well, my feelings are insignificant in my mind. I feel for the players. They've done what we asked them to do. They've worked hard. They've stayed positive. They came out and they played a really good football game against a really good team. And to let it slip away at the end, I'm disappointed for them, not myself.
So are you going to have any tough conversations with the AD? The AD scoffs at it as if, how dare you even ask that question and have that thought. You're 0-5 for the first time since 1996. Special teams blunders have cost you multiple games. At the bare minimum, you should be 2-3 at this point in the season. You had no business losing to Fresno State. You were the better team the entire night. And if you don't have some of the most comedically sad special teams blunders, you win that football game.
Well, don't forget the Cal one. It started off with too many men on a field
Without
and it got
a doubt.
them going.
I don't know if you win the game because that was the opening drive, but
still.
I'm with you. I'm not excusing that performance either. And then you win on Friday night if you could just execute a field goal. Execute a field goal, you win the game, and don't collapse late defensively.
Their kicker got hurt too, by the way.
Yes.
So they'd have a guy who not attempted a field goal kick come in, and it's funny, the first one he attempts, blocked.
Yeah. Yeah. How has that guy still got a job? And I'm with you on the calling for heads. It's a weird thing to do in this industry, and I don't, I'm
not a big fan of it.
I'm not a big fan of it. We try to not do it as often as we can. There's just times, though, from whether it's even valid or not, whether it's the long snapper getting the yips is not the fault of the special teams coach, right? Like maybe that kid's just so in his head that he can't figure it out, and that's what doomed them for a game or two. Like at some point, there has to be a sacrificial lamb to appease the fan base to make them believe that at least you care and at least you're doing something about it.
Well, they don't, though, but we know.
And that's the hardest part. And, what if you go on the road to App State and you have a blocked punt is the reason that you lose the game, or you still can't execute the most simplest of things that I can see? I could travel around the metro area on a Friday night and see high school football teams execute this stuff that you're incapable of doing. And so it's a strange spot to be in, to call for somebody's job, but how that dude still has a job is absolutely beyond me. And then you dive a little bit more into the weeds of some of the play calling and decision making. I thought Oregon State's offensive game plan late was just
it felt like kill the
awful.
clock, don't be as aggressive.
And you knew that they weren't going to run the ball because Houston was all gearing up to stop the run, and you'd run it into the wall twice, and then you'd punt it right back to them, and you're like, okay, here comes the entire momentum.
Yeah.
And then in overtime on 3rd and short, they had multiple short yardage situations throughout the course of the game, and they put their fullback in, and what did they do with their fullback? They handed it to him, and what did he do every time they gave it to him in a short yard situation? He fell forward and picked it up. And you have a 3rd and short in overtime. You put in your backup quarterback, and instead of just doing, what has worked for you all night, you get cute and you outthink the room, and you call a quarterback sneak with a guy under 6 foot tall who weighs like 175 pounds.
Who only comes in the most obvious, he's going to run the football.
He's going to run the ball.
Throw the football very well.
Right, and what happens? You get stuck.
Not even close. I think
not
he
even
lost
close.
yardage.
And now it's 4th down, and then to your point, you're not even confident enough to try the field goal. We're running out of things to say because it's like a broken record every week. It's the same thing every week. It's just a different way of
coaching.
Yeah,
it's coaching. It's coaching. It's coaching. It's coaching. It's coaching. The players can say that they haven't given up. They play App State this weekend, and they're at App State, and I know it's far. App State lost 47-14. Like the problem. Actually, I think the biggest takeaway is how much that's got to hurt to lose that game, and how in a way it's weirdly comical that they're finding unique ways to lose every week. but also the idea that a reporter is just simply asking what everybody's asking.
And the AD scoffs at
And
it
the
as
AD
if, how dare you?
audibly
How
scoffs
dare
at it.
you?
Like, okay, so is it losing to App State at App State, who's 2-2 and shows no life?
He should have turned around and said, Barnes, are you going to have any uncomfortable conversations with the president about why you're still the athletic director? I mean, that should have been the follow-up question if I hear a scoff in the back of the room. I want to read some thoughts. They're coming in at the fan text line, 503-864-6326. Oregon State finds a new creative, agonizing way to lose, and I felt horrible for the players. They deserved to win that game. They did not quit. They played their tails off all night. And to your point about, like, dude, for the people who drove down for a 7:30 kick on a Friday night.
And thought they were going to see the first one.
Hey, look, we're going to get.
Hey,
And, like, dude,
one.
I just felt so bad for the people in the building that had to then walk out in sadness after that blown lead.